Welcome to the Empty Nest Kitchen, where we're finding fun in the kitchen now that the kids have flown the coop. I'm Christine Van Bloom, a cooking teacher with over 25 years of experience, here to show you tips, tricks, and joy in your kitchen, all while trying something new. Let's get cooking.
Well, happy day, everyone. I am so excited today. I'm always so excited. I have Dawn Conine, who is the lead instructor with Club Pilates here in my town and in a town to the south of us. And I have taken Dawn's classes. So much fun. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you, Christine. It's awesome to be here with you.
I am so excited. I think you were a little nervous about coming on, right?
No,
No, oh my God. Good.
I always just want to present myself in a way that I don't reflect back and say, oh, I should have said this, or maybe I should have phrased it this way. But you know what? We're just two girls just having a little conversation. So that's how I'm going to approach it today.
And I promised Dawn that if she called anyone a stupid cow, I'd take it out. But I can tell you right away, that is not
do that.
who Dawn in at all. That's who I am.
Thank you.
But so I met Dawn because I joined the local Club Pilates here. I had tried it with a friend of mine out at the beach, and we giggled the whole way through because this is reformer Pilates.
Correct.
And what is reformer Pilates?
So reformer Pilates is just that. There's a main piece of equipment or apparatus that we use during class. It's kind of the meat and potatoes of the class, and it is a reformer. And basically, the mat Pilates that Joseph Pilates created in his initial contrology method of exercise. Yeah, it was, the control of the mind and the body, and then incorporating the breath. After World War I, the wounded soldiers were immobile. So he decided he would attach springs to the beds and attach the risers with the pulley system. So basically, that's how the reformer was born. So he helped to rehab and strengthen the wounded soldiers while they could not get out of bed with the spring tension. So it was resistance training. It was, weight bearing exercises with support. And that's how kind of the reformer method was born. So that's what we have. Mm-hmm.
It looks like a torture device.
It does a little bit. Yeah. Have you ever seen the private studio in the back?
No.
Okay. So in the private studio, there is a reformer, but it's basically a part of a larger apparatus called the Cadillac. Yes. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
and
gosh.
that's like the pristine, ultimate, so to speak. So back there, and we can use the Cadillac similar to how we use the springboard in the studio. Yeah. There's a lot of different pieces of equipment that we can use to challenge you and help you just build that strength and flexibility and control of your body. So, as we get a little older, we lose our balance a little bit. And balance can be an issue for people that have had injuries and they're rehabbing, and whether that's something as simple as, they stub their toe and they're using the other foot a little bit more, kind of compromising, not compromising. I'm trying to think of the right word, but, compensating. Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. Or, how a total hip replacement. So there's just a wide variety, and we have so much versatility to help people just feel stronger and successful. And that's what you want. You want to have the confidence that you can move, without pain, and also the confidence that you're not going to risk injuring yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just a really great way. And the reformer, same, like we use it to help build that foundation, to teach and create more awareness in everybody's own personal space and their body. And then we just kind of progress from there. And that's really what Pilates is. It's just layers and progressions, and just meeting you where you are as far as where your body is. So anybody can do it.
I was really nervous when I did my first one because, I'm a little older and my core, it's not as strong. I mean, it's stronger now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
My core was not super strong, and I loved the non-impact of it. I mean, it's not a workout. I'm a level 1, sometimes a level 1.5. And are there just the 3 levels, 1, 1.5, 2?
There's actually 4 levels.
Oh
So
my
there's,
gosh.
the level 1 is it's beginner, but I feel like it's more fundamentals. Like you're really covering the basics and you're
Yeah.
getting that, in your body and you're feeling what muscles you're using to move certain ways or stabilize you. And that's pretty much Pilates is very different from just a gym workout where you're going and maybe just focusing on one body part at a time. With Pilates, you're actually using muscles to keep you stable and then using muscles to move you and build strength and that flexibility. So each exercise is really a full body exercise. So you're not going to go in there and just sweat like, you're running on the treadmill or doing the elliptical or something like that. But it's just, as I mentioned, it's strength and it's stretching and it's the control and then just gaining that range of motion in your joints, and it's full body. So the smaller muscles that support your joints, your shoulders, your knees, those muscles need to be focused on and stronger and more flexible, just like the larger muscle groups. So
Yeah. I actually love the little Pilates chair. I love the chair. I don't get to use the chair very often, but I
yeah.
love the chair.
Yeah. The chair is fun. And the chair definitely is, once you have a little bit more, not you specifically, but a person has more body awareness and they understand the
Maybe
difference.
specifically.
All of us really on a given day. But there's different, positions for our spine
Yeah.
and we want to move that spine in all different positions. And when you're using the chair, you have to have that really strong concept of, okay, I know what my neutral spine is when you're
Yeah.
seated on the chair and what muscles am I going to use to keep my hips or my pelvis stable while I'm moving. There's a little pedal on the side. While I move that pedal up and down, how am I going to keep the rest of my body engaged so that I'm really focusing on that flexion and extension of my hips and my knees?
Very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little nervous because of all the cute Pilates girlies, right? With the little tiny knees and they look so great. And they wear the cutest outfits too. And
the outfits are, it's such a business. It's such a huge business.
Do you remember back? I mean, I'm going to date myself here, but do you remember back in the 90s when we would wear the little thong over our bike shorts, right? And there was a young woman she was at the thing beside me. So sometimes you're turning, so you're looking at the back. I was not being weird and creepy, but she had leggings on that did that for her butt. And I was like, that, because it just made me immediately go back to the perma wedgie from the little, that you pulled over your bike shorts.
Yeah.
So what made you, I mean, I think Pilates, I really like it. And I think it is so perfect for my age group. I really think it is. And there are a lot of women in there that are my age group, which
absolutely.
is awesome. It's so good because of the non-impact stuff. I think because, joints, like you were saying, hips and knees and all of that.
Yep.
But what made you go Pilates? What made you say, Dawn, Pilates is the thing for me?
Well, I was a big cardio girl. So, you talked about the 90s and dating back. And I was on a competitive aerobics dance team.
Okay. Wait. Because when Dawn, she mentioned something in class one day, and you guys have to know this. Pilates is not like a rockin' and rollin' class. It's silent, right? It is. It's a little too quiet for me, I'll be honest, but it is silent. And the instructor is so vital. And Dawn drops this bon mot of, when I was doing competitive aerobics, and I immediately went up to her after class and said, hey, I do this podcast. My 4 listeners would love to hear about competitive aerobics. when were you doing competitive aerobics?
It was in the early 90s. Yeah, it
Oh
was in the
my
early 90s before I
gosh.
was married, before I had my kids. And I joined a gym down in Aspen Hill. And I met now some of my dearest friends, and they were forming, and it had already been kind of a team, but they were, I guess, recruiting new women to be on the team. And there were some teams we competed with that had men, but they were very select. There were a few. But we would practice every single day. We did plyometric, high impact work. We did aerobic classes. We would run. We would do lunges all around the track. I mean, it was intense, and we would use the weights, and we did strength training. And the competition the year that I was in El Paso, Texas, and we actually made the regionals and went to compete. And it was a team of, I think, were there 14 of us. And we had, like you mentioned, the little thong, and we didn't wear thongs, but it was like one piece they looked like bike shorts,
Oh, yes,
and
yes,
they were
yes.
black. And then there was a coral like thong, and then the coral, it was hilarious. I still wish I had mine, because for Halloween, I would probably wear it.
Okay.
I don't know
I
if it would fit,
demand,
but I would wear it.
I demand that is a
I
picture.
don't, I
I
think
don't
it's
know if
gone. Oh, I definitely have a picture. I'll show you a
I
picture.
mean, listen, if you get easily embarrassed, because I would staple
I
that
really don't.
to my chest, and I would wear that everywhere. I know that the four listeners want to know. We've all seen that the memes of the people, and I think they're wearing blue, and there are men that come out, and they are very aerobic. It feels more 80s than 90s to me. Have you ever seen?
Uh-huh.
They,
Oh yeah. And they're like, it's like
yes,
synchronized
yes, yes.
dance slash strength work. Like we would do one arm push-ups, like we'd do a little grapevine this way,
Ew.
grapevine this way, and then do a little, jack, and then get down, and then we do our one arm push-up. So it was like strength and a little dance. And it was so fun. And we would move in different formations. So I guess the closest thing I can compare it to, if you think about in high school, the dance team, and
Yeah,
when they go at halftime and they
yeah.
dance, and they move into like the single line or the chorus line, or a big X, like that's kind of what we did. And it was a blast. It
I
was so fun.
I'm in awe. I have always, I'm a teacher, right? I'm a teacher by
Mhm.
trade, but I teach cooking, and I always wanted to teach aerobics. Like
Oh
back
my
in the
gosh.
90s, I always
Yeah.
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
No stamina, no sport, no nothing. That is not who I am or ever was. So I am so in awe of this. I love this. So you did that, and
So I did that.
it's
So that was
fun.
kind of my fitness background. It was all about the cardio and the strength training. So as I got older, tried to do the same things that I had done in the past to take care of myself, to move, to exercise. And as I got into my 50s, what I was doing in my 30s and even early 40s started to hurt. Like at the
Yeah.
time, it just was not like,
Yeah.
there's a shift that happens, I think, with our bodies naturally. And there's we can go into that with menopause and perimenopause and chemically. But I was standing all day at my job. I was a full-time dental assistant before I started teaching Pilates. So at the end of the day, my back bothered me. I had, my hip bothered me. And to run or even walk at that time, it started really feeling more like punishment. It wasn't something I look forward to take care of myself. And I started getting discouraged. And I was like, I know I'm supposed to exercise. I enjoyed exercise before, but the forms of exercise that I used to do are just not fitting with my body right now. So I had a girlfriend when my kids were younger who was a Pilates instructor, and we would meet in one of my other girlfriend's basements, and she would lead us through a mat class while she was getting earning hours for her certification. And I'd never tried mat Pilates before. So I tried it then, and I loved it. And because I was used to the cardio stuff, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. I don't know. But the difference with Pilates versus yoga, because I thought it was very similar to yoga and just
Yeah.
holding the
No.
stretches. because I wasn't flexible enough to do yoga and I didn't feel like I was successful at it. And I would, again, get discouraged. But with Pilates, it's the movement, it's the breath, and that breath helping you with the movement. And I loved it. So, in a nutshell, when I started, fast forward now to when I didn't feel like I could run or even, walk after standing all day, and I didn't really want to go to the gym. I mean, I was exhausted. So, I thought, Pilates, let me get online and see if I can find something online. And this amazing woman named Robin Long popped up and she was on a mat on the beach with the ocean behind her doing mat Pilates. So I was like, you know what? I think I could get into that. So I subscribed. She had a monthly and she's still online. She's fantastic. And I still, to this day, this was about 7 years ago, and I still go on her website and I do her mat work every day. And there's amazing 10-minute, workouts. There's 30-minute workouts. I mean, she's phenomenal. So I can give you more information about her, but I found her and I started doing it and I fell in love with Pilates all over again. And I didn't hurt and my aches and pains started going away. I even had issues with plantar fasciitis, and it's really hard when you stand all day to rest and treat that. So, right. So doing Pilates, it actually helped that. And then a club Pilates opened up near where I lived and I wanted a supplemental income. So I was a single mom at the time. So I thought, oh, let me see if they need any, front desk work. So, fast forward, I worked at the front desk and then the owners asked me if I'd like to go through the teacher training program because they thought I would be great as an instructor. So I did. And I did. Well, I appreciate that. I love it. And I think you have to love what you do to be excited about it, to maintain that level of passion. And I love encouraging people. I feel like that was my calling or my purpose, and just really supporting people. And I think ultimately beyond that, having people feel seen and heard and feel like they can do something and not so much, I can't do this because of my age, or I can't do this because of my back, or I can't do this because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, just come and we will guide you and you're going to feel better. You're going to be more confident. And the more you come, you really start, seriously, it's like magic. You start feeling the difference in your body.
It is. You really do. And you said something that I immediately was like, because I do the thing about the connecting and the feeling empowered and that through food. So this is a very nice compliment to that. But it really is. You can't also forget about the strength that it is. I think that when I first decided to give it a go, I had done a couple of mat Pilates classes, I don't know, 17,000 years ago. And I was really intrigued by the reformer, but I don't know if y'all have seen Pilates arms, but there is a lot of strength in Pilates. There really is. And when Dawn's talking about the springboard, it's not like a gymnastic springboard that you jump on and then vault.
Not like a trampoline.
No, but I mean, that's super fun. But
that'd be fun.
It's a board that's against the wall, and then it has springs, and all the springs and everything. Springs are very central to Pilates, to Pilates, right?
Yeah.
And they're all color coded. So there will be 5 on the reformer, and then there are 2 different colors on the springboard, purple, which we never use, and yellow, which is up top. And then you have red, blue, and green on the reformer. And they'll say, okay, two reds and a blue. Or if you're just doing arms, what do you do for 1 red or 1 blue?
It just depends. It depends on the exercise. It depends on the individual's range of motion, if they have any shoulder issues.
Okay.
It's a very personal thing. You can start with just, now the springs are the resistance. So the blue springs tends to be the lighter spring. Now, the red spring is considered a medium or heavy, and they're heavy. And then the green one is a little extra. That's very heavy.
That's like Danger Will Robinson. 10 on it. At it.
No, and the cool thing about Pilates too, depending on the exercise, sometimes the lighter spring doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be heavier. It may mean that you have a little less support. So you have
Yes.
to rely on your own core strength
Yeah.
specifically on there. And sometimes we do use, you mentioned the 2 sets of springs on the springboard. The purple ones at the bottom are for your legs, and the yellow ones on the top are for your arms. Sometimes I will use those purple ones in the level 1 for feet and straps instead of doing the exercise on the reformer, which is different. And that's what's cool too.
Don't you take away my feet and straps. Don't you take that away.
I know that's everybody's favorite.
Everybody. So I did a girls' weekend with all the ladies on my husband's side of the family because I was like, we are bonding, darn it,
Nice.
doing it. And we went down to Rehoboth. We rented a house, and this was in March. And I found this wonderful woman who was doing Pilates because I had taken a class in Ocean City. And I was like, I'm going to take everybody to do a Pilates class. So I took all 7 of us.
Fun.
And
that's fun.
It was the funniest thing. She was so great. And she hopped on that Cadillac after. And I was just like, holy bananas. Here, I need a cheeseburger. It was incredible. I can't remember her name right now. I still have her card. But I took everybody. I took 3 of my sisters-in-laws, 2 of my nieces, my daughter. And I was like, listen, we're just going to have fun. I just want you to try it. And son of a biscuit, my sister-in-law, she is, oh my gosh, is she 64 now? She'll be mortified. I think she's 63. We did a thing where you're laying down and the straps are on your feet, but you basically pull up. So you're, raising your legs up and you're kind of on your shoulders. I mean, I'm like tooting and yelling, like I can't do anything. And she's like, bloop, and she goes right up into it. And you can tell he was later like, because the lady was letting us play around a little, right? She was telling us what everything was. But I remember that whole weekend, my sister-in-law, her name's Patsy, she was like, yeah, and I just totally went right up into that. Oh, you mean the thing I went right up into? And I was like,
she was so proud.
You should be proud. That was incredible. But that lady called feet and straps dessert.
Yep.
And I didn't know what she meant, and now I get it. And tell everyone what feet and straps is. Because it sounds so naughty.
It does sound naughty. I think I saw a t-shirt one time that said my love language was feet and straps, and people were like, what?
Yeah. What? Mine is. But
it is. So the most, I think what everybody can picture in their mind is imagine you were in your home and you were laying on the floor facing a wall. So you're laying down on your back and your legs are up on the wall. All right. So when you're in that position, it helps your circulation. It helps any inflammation. It just is nice. It kind of helps to release your lower back. So if you imagine if you're laying down on the reformer instead of the floor, and instead of your feet up against the wall, there are these straps on the pulley system that are behind your head. And then you put your feet in those long straps. So now your feet are in the straps, supported, and your legs are straight. Kind of, you can have them up to the ceiling, just like if your legs were up against the wall with that stretch. And then when we start to move those legs down, it creates a little bit more movement through your hips with the support of the springs. So it's really a core stabilization exercise because you don't want to, when you lift those legs up, you don't want to, for this specific exercise, this serious feet and straps, you don't want your bottom coming up off the carriage, right? You want to keep it down and anchored, right? Yeah. And you also want to keep your rib cage, so your mid back down. So as if you were laying on the floor, you feel those natural places where your spine touches the floor. So that's basically when you're laying down on the reformer, what you want to support with your spine, with your core. When your legs start moving kind of up and down or making circles with them or kind of opening and closing, it's just such a nice release for your spine because especially just depending on anybody's in everyday activity, you could be seated for a long period of time, whether you're working at a desk you commute for a long time, sitting in your car, or if you stand all day, your spine kind of compresses. If you imagine a slinky, and when a slinky's in a box, right? And then if you open the box and then start to pull just the top of the slinky and you create a little bit more space and you lengthen the slinky, that's kind of typically what we try to do and help you do with your spine is that kind of decompression and finding the space and opening it and the length of it. So with feet and straps, when your feet are supported in those straps with the springs on the reformer, your spine is getting an opportunity to kind of decompress a little bit and just create a little more space. It's like a big yawn for your spine.
Yes. It's so
So I
yummy.
think that's why people love it.
I think it's called cobbler. And it's when
Yes.
you have your feet together like a frog. Your legs are like a frog and you kind of drop them into where the springs are.
Yeah. It's like a
It-
butterfly
it-
stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stretches the front
Yeah.
of your hips.
Oh,
Oh,
yep.
that
Yep.
is my favorite. That's so
It's
delicious.
good. I know it's so good. And when
Okay.
you're supported with springs, it's just a nice way to get maybe even a little bit more range of motion in your hips or just get that really nice stretch. And then you hold the stretch and just take some deep breaths. And
Yeah.
that helps to release those muscles and fascia and all that other yummy stuff.
That it is so good. Now, I know that Club Pilates, at least my local Club Pilates, does a free 30-minute intro class.
Yes.
Is that like across the board, any Club Pilates?
All yeah, the Club Pilates franchises, and I'm sure other studios do the same thing. They want you to come in there, they want you to experience
Test it
it.
out.
Yeah, and the intro, I mean, you can get a lot done in the 30 minutes. Somebody's not going to have all the information about what Pilates is in just that 30 minutes, but just
like
kind of feeling it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just feeling it in your body that 30 minutes, and it's free. And we have intros several times during the week.
bunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really recommend. I mean, Pilates is not inexpensive. Pilates is a little pricey.
No.
And I really recommend that you try one of the free classes. But before you sign up for like a big thing, you can buy a single class at different studios all over
Absolutely.
and try it because I really think finding the right instructor for you, it's good and it's just a
Yes.
personal taste thing. And then, and you are very good for me. I love taking your class. It's so much fun.
Well, having you in class.
You're my vibe. So that's why there's so many
Yeah,
instructors.
every instructor's different. It's just
Yeah.
like everybody has their own personalities, their own creativity, their own approach to how they format and plan their classes. And some people you'll vibe with and some people you don't. That's why it's so great. There's other instructors there that you can try. And then I think the more familiar you are with your own body and yourself, then, maybe you can try an instructor that maybe you weren't vibing with quite in the beginning, but now you kind of get what it's all about. And now you understand maybe what their approach is or not.
Hey, Christine here, breaking in just to let you know that I have a fantastic cooking with whole grains class happening on Sunday, September 29th at 4 p.m. It is going to be so tasty and delicious. And I want to show you how you can easily incorporate more whole grains into your life and make them taste pretty yummy too. You can find all of the details at emptynestkitchen.com. Thanks so much. And back to my interview with Dawn.
Everybody has something special to give. And that's one thing I try to really not teach, but encourage the instructors and also the members is not to compare yourself with anybody else. I think we all have a tendency not only to compare ourselves with other people, but compare ourselves to our old self, right? And
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people that when they come in the studio to take class, they're discouraged or they're disappointed in themselves because after COVID, maybe they gained weight and they don't know if they can do this, if they don't know if it's the right fit for them, or they're seeing all the gorgeous skinny girls in those cute Lululemon Athleta, you name it brand. And that's all well and good. And there's a place for all of that. And you'll see a lot of that on social media too. But I think what's important to remember is we all need to move and we need to move and have that strength, especially as we get older, so we can function. I
Yeah.
think that's the key to all of it. We want to be able to function. We want to improve the quality of our life. We want to be able to climb stairs. I mean, it's simple things as we get older. We want to have balance. So, and I see a lot of women that don't look like, the Instagram models
Oh
on,
my gosh, yeah. Well, I mean,
right. And I think but they keep coming and they feel stronger. And I think
yeah.
as we get older and our bodies are changing, and sometimes there's not a whole lot we can do about the changes, but if we focus and shift our mindset more on, I feel really strong, I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, I'm happier, I'm more content with who I am right now.
Yeah.
And more appreciative of the fact that I can move and I do have, use of my body, and my body's carried me, all my life to this point. It just helps us to feel a little bit more grateful. And so that's what I really try to encourage people. So no matter what experience you have, no matter what your body looks like, no matter what your level of athleticism is, Pilates or just moving, whatever you find that you're going to be consistent with, then that's going to make you feel successful. And that's going to
Well,
be
and I
awesome
think
for you.
it's important for the new ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
will say
Yeah.
things
There's a
like,
handful. Yeah. I wish more men came in. I think everybody needs it, but I think men kind of shy away a little bit
yeah,
because it's kind of a smaller boutique setting, if you
it
will.
is. They're
And I
12
think in their
before.
mind, they think it's just for women. But
Yeah.
we have some men that are pretty regulars. They're in
Well,
there all the time.
and I'll say, even though that young woman with the great leggings, I mean, bless
Hmm.
her heart, she should wear those
Yeah.
all the time, everywhere.
Right.
People are dressed. People are dressed all sorts of ways. I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend a big old baggy t-shirt because of the way you're moving. It'll kind of get in
Hmm.
your way. But excuse me, but people wear any number of things to do it.
Hmm.
It's not, I don't want any of the 50 something, 60 something ladies to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go and I'm going to be the Schwampadinka. And
No, not at
I will
all.
tell you this because I'm feeling a little naughty right now. I will never wear Lulu, add the fruit in,
Yeah.
because I think maybe now they would make my size because there was pressure, but I'm not even a plus size. I'm at the end of the straight sizes. And when you can't walk in and get something, I'm like, I don't care if you make the most gorgeous stuff that'll fit me perfectly well.
Yeah.
You are dead to me,
Yeah.
right? Just
Yeah.
I get her
Yeah, I
a
think they
little
agree. I
funny.
think they need to be a little more realistic because
Yeah.
the majority of the bodies out there are not Instagram worthy models. And I think women and men, they need to see that. They need to understand that, you know what, your body, it is what it is. And let's get stronger. Let's, get more energy.
Yes.
Let's increase that bone density, especially for women. And Pilates is awesome for that as well because of
Yes.
the resistance with the springs and the weight bearing exercises. And all those things are important to, again, feel good in your body and feel strong and feel capable. Yeah.
I mean, I love it. And I have to say, when I come out, I am walking like I'm a prima ballerina, baby.
Walking
Like
tall. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
telling you, I swear I'm an inch taller when I come out. And it's
Yeah.
not because I've been stretched 6 ways. 'Cause I think you pay so much attention to your spine
Your
during
posture. Hmm.
I love that feeling. I love it.
Yeah.
And my arms are fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good. I really like when you take the box. There's this big box that you can do planks with, and you do all sorts of things. But I love when you put it on the reformer and then you are doing biceps and triceps and things like
When you're
that,
sitting on it.
sitting on the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. And it's so funny because you're putting your feet where your head was,
Yeah.
and you have to like really smash your feet kind of in together, and
Mhm.
you just want to sit there like you're
Yeah.
so perfect, with your nice
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
spine. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
eating steps. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
those little disc things, though, you can
Yeah.
take those and throw them in
Gliders.
the garbage. I hate those.
Really? I've never heard that before.
Oh, I hate those stupid.
Nobody likes the gliders. Yeah.
No, because they're terrible and I don't like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I'm one of strong opinions. Well, I just think it's so much fun. And Dawn, I am so excited that you took the time to come. And I have to tell y'all, we had so many technical difficulties getting to this. So bless Dawn's heart for being so patient. You must have learned it from Pilates because
I
you sure
think it
as heck
was.
didn't
It was
learn
that
it.
nice breathing. It's,
Yeah.
that the parasympathetic nervous system just, calms you down. And, that's what the breathing does. It helps to relax you. But no, I learned a long time ago, you can't get stressed out over what you can't control, right?
Well, I
So you just have to
appreciate it.
respond to it. Yeah, absolutely. No, it was a pleasure. I love talking to you.
Oh my gosh. And listen, if you guys are interested, you ladies are interested in taking one of Dawn's classes, you
Mhm.
can find her at the Club Pilates in Frederick, Maryland. It's South Frederick, or in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Germantown. Yeah, the Germantown.
Sorry,
Yes.
Germantown.
No
They
worries.
both
Yeah,
start with G. They're right
they're
in
right there. I know.
Neither has the Trader Joe's. That's all I know now. But it's a great class. You definitely start on level 1, even if you think you're beast mode. Just do a couple of level 1s before you
Yeah.
move up. And it's really of the moment. I will say, I know that you've seen that SNL skit with
Yes.
Pilates.
Yes.
Everybody
How
did.
funny was
And
that?
it is not inaccurate. I mean,
No, it's not.
there are nuggets of truth in that, but
Yes.
I think you guys don't take yourselves too seriously, and
No,
I
no, no,
love
no.
it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, you know what? When it comes down to it, it's an exercise class. And
Yes.
there is a method that we are trying to teach. And it's more so our number one priority is your safety. So we want to make sure that if something doesn't feel right, while we're moving, there's ways to modify exercises and there's also ways to challenge you a little bit in the same exercise. So that's what's nice about the level 1. It's really just kind of the basics. And then, once you come to a few level 1s and we notice how strong you are, we'll say, oh, if you want a little bit more, maybe try this with that exercise. And then you feel it. There's no end game with the Pilates. There's always a way to dial it up just a little bit to
Agree.
challenge you. So, yeah.
Great.
Anyways, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dawn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. And everyone, I will put a little link to my local Club Pilates so you can check that out if you like. And try to sign up for that free class because I really think you will love it. So I wanted to say thanks to Dawn. Thanks to everybody, my 4 listeners. I so appreciate you. And of course, as always, I will see you in the kitchen.